One day, they're yelling, push, and you're in pain. Then one day, he comes out, a beautiful baby boy. To God be the glory. Congratulations to every mama out there. You're doing a great job. In case no one's told you that, you're doing a great job.
You see, Nicki's fans have been begging her to ditch Kenneth for years, citing his controversial past and the allegations of physical abuse and controlling behavior through drugs. It seems the rapper has finally reached her breaking point in this toxic relationship, fed up with being a mere puppet mistreated by her supposed soulmate. Not only has she initiated divorce proceedings, but rumors also suggest Nicki has sought a restraining order against Kenneth due to the escalating violence. And just when you thought the story couldn't get any more dramatic, new details have emerged that paint a chilling picture. Rewind to when Nicki and Kenneth first tied the knot in a secret ceremony, much to the confusion of her devoted fans. At the time, their love story seemed straight out of a fairy tale, high school sweethearts from Queens reconnecting after years apart. But whispers soon began circulating about Kenneth's deeply troubling past. In 1995, he was convicted of assaulting an ex-girlfriend, spending years behind bars. Upon release, New York State labeled him a high-risk offender likely to reoffend. The details of his case are harrowing, involving alleged weapons, coercion, and sexual assault. But that's not all. In 2019, after relocating to California with Nicki, Kenneth found himself in hot water again for failing to register as a sex offender, resulting in a hefty $20,000 fine, likely footed by his famous wife. The situation only worsened in 2020 when Kenneth faced the possibility of a decade in prison and a lifetime of supervised probation for his previous offenses. Fans were understandably outraged, questioning why Nicki didn't take more precautions or steer clear of someone with such a disturbing history. As this saga continues to unfold, it's becoming increasingly clear that Nicki's supposed fairy tale marriage was anything but a dream come true. The people we choose to surround ourselves with can indeed shape our lives, and it seems the Queen of Rap has finally awakened to the harsh reality she found herself in. Will she emerge stronger from this ordeal, or will the weight of her choices continue to haunt her career and legacy? The world watches with bated breath, captivated by this unfolding drama and the tantalizing question: what other shocking twists and turns await us in the enigmatic life of Nicki Minaj? It turns out that back in 2015, Nicki Minaj's own brother, Jelani Miraj, was arrested for the unthinkable, sexually assaulting his 12-year-old stepdaughter. The details of the case are utterly sickening, and what's even more disturbing is that during the trial, Nicki herself wrote a letter to the judge defending her brother and asking for leniency. Let that sink in for a moment. The Queen of Rap, an icon of female empowerment, pleaded for a lenient sentence for her brother after he was proven guilty of such a heinous act against a child. It's a move that left fans feeling deeply betrayed and questioning Nicki's moral compass. In hindsight, perhaps it's not so surprising that she ended up with a man like Kenneth Petty, given her willingness to defend her brother's reprehensible actions. Throughout her relationship with Kenneth, Nicki continuously stood by him, dismissing concerns from the internet with callous remarks like, "He was young, I was young, and we were in a relationship, but go off internet, you can't run my life." But does being in a relationship as teenagers truly excuse the alleged acts of violence and sexual misconduct that have plagued Kenneth's past? From Nicki's stance, it seems she believes it does, a perspective that has left many fans and observers utterly baffled and disheartened. As if the allegations against Kenneth weren't damning enough, a new layer of controversy emerged in July 2022 when he was slapped with a year of house arrest and a whopping $500,000 fine for failing to register as a sex offender in 2019 when he moved to California with Nicki. It's a costly mistake, one that left fans wondering who fronted the hefty bill, and the answer is painfully obvious. But the bombshells don't stop there. In a shocking turn of events, it's alleged that Nicki tried to silence Kenneth's victim, Jennifer Huff, by offering her a substantial sum of money to keep quiet about the 1995 incident. When Jennifer refused to be bought and took legal action against Petty, Nicki's team reportedly went into overdrive, dangling hundreds of thousands of dollars in front of her in a desperate attempt to buy her silence. Jennifer, however, wasn't having it. She came prepared with solid evidence to push back against Nicki's attempts, even revealing that she'd been in touch with U.S. Marshals who claimed to have uncovered concrete proof regarding the events of 1995. The drama, the intrigue, the sheer audacity of it all has left fans and the public utterly stunned. As one person aptly pointed out, no matter how much you like Nicki's music, it's wrong to sweep her actions under the rug. She's literally accused victims of lying and even tried to buy their silence. You can still like her music, but you don't need a degree in morality and ethics from Harvard to understand that Nicki is in the wrong here. For once, fans need to take off their rose-colored glasses and hold their faves accountable. With each passing day, the tangled web of controversies surrounding Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty only grows more convoluted, more scandalous, and more damaging to the once untouchable reputation of the Queen of Rap. As this captivating saga continues to unfold, one can't help but wonder, how much further will Nicki go to defend the indefensible? And at what cost to her career, her legacy, and her once devoted fan base? Following her controversial marriage to Kenneth Petty, it appears Nicki's once red-hot music career took a nosedive. Album sales plummeted, and the Queen of Rap seemed to retreat from the public eye, putting her career on hold to be a full-time mom and stand by her embattled husband's side. This shift was quite jarring and out of character for the usually unstoppable Nicki, whose brand was built on empowerment, pursuing your dreams, and never letting anyone or anything hold you back. So what could possibly have caused such a seismic change? In September 2019, Nicki bluntly teased her retirement from the music industry to her 22.2 million Twitter followers, saying, "I've decided to retire and have my family. I know you guys are happy now." Fans were utterly devastated, flooding her mentions with anguished no's and questions about why she couldn't balance motherhood and being a rap superstar. But Nicki appeared resolute in her decision to walk away from the game, possibly as a means to protect her husband from further public scrutiny, though she later backtracked, deleting the tweet and claiming it would be a discussion for her Queen radio show. The damage was already done. In a subsequent interview with Billboard, the rapper seemed to vacillate, saying she loves music and her fans but wants to explore other possibilities and become a well-rounded person outside the spotlight's glare. Fans couldn't help but speculate that something more sinister might be afoot behind the scenes. Was Nicki being manipulated and controlled by Kenneth? Was her increasingly erratic behavior a cry for help, a sign that the usually unflappable queen was cracking under the immense pressure and backlash from her husband's sordid past? The intrigue only deepened when Kenneth's 1995 victim, Jennifer Howe, came forward alleging that she was being harassed and intimidated by Nicki and Kenneth, as well as their associates. Jennifer claimed she had to uproot her entire life, changing jobs and moving homes to escape the torment. But her most explosive allegation? That Nicki and Kenneth had enlisted someone named Black to offer Jennifer a staggering $20,000 to recant her story and lie about Kenneth never mistreating her, a crucial detail for what was to come next. With each new revelation, it becomes increasingly evident that Nicki's choices have spiraled out of control, not just tarnishing her public image, but potentially putting her in legal jeopardy as well. The world watches with bated breath as this bonkers saga shows no signs of slowing down. How will the Queen of Rap attempt to claw her way out of this quagmire of her own making? Only time will tell if Nicki can resurrect her once unstoppable career from the ashes of these sordid scandals. You know how these celeb scandals can get wildly convoluted and messy? Well, this one takes the cake. Just when you thought Nicki and Kenneth couldn't dig themselves into a deeper hole, they managed to fumble in spectacular fashion. It all went down when Nicki, Kenneth, and their legal teams missed the deadline to respond to Jennifer Hoff's harassment lawsuit. Her lawyers saw this golden opportunity and pounced, requesting a jaw-dropping $20 million default judgment against the couple from the judge. For those unfamiliar, a default judgment occurs when one party fails to respond in time, essentially allowing the judge to rule in favor of the other side without hearing a defense. A costly mistake, to say the least. Now, Jennifer was well within her rights to pursue this nuclear option, But Nicki and Kenneth weren't going down without an earth-shattering fight. They quickly filed motions to vacate and cancel the default judgments against them. However, here's where things get really juicy. Nicki and her husband were sued separately and had different legal representation, meaning they weren't legally tied together in this battle. While the Queen managed to get her default judgment nixed, poor Kenneth wasn't so lucky. And that's when the tea started flowing so hot you could brew a whole gallon. In his official response, Kenneth let it all out in an explosive attempt to clear his name and reputation. So what did this convicted felon have to say for himself? Well, buckle up, because it's a doozy. Kenneth claimed the reason he initially ghosted the lawsuit was that finding legal representation was like trying to locate a needle in a haystack. He alleged that every lawyer he contacted demanded outrageous fees, with some even asking for $100,000 retainers up front. Wait, hold up. You're trying to tell us that you, Kenneth Petty, husband to globally famous rapper Nicki Minaj, couldn't afford proper legal counsel? Was the Queen finally tired of footing the bill for your endless messes and controversies? But Kenneth's bombshells didn't stop there. He made a startling claim that he was never actually convicted of violating Jennifer in 1994. Instead, he insisted it was merely an attempted violation and that their encounter had been consensual. The cherry on top? He accused Jennifer of trying to make him look like a rapist when he had never been convicted of such a crime. In a bold move straight out of the scandal playbook, Kenneth alleged that neither he nor Nicki had asked anyone to threaten or harass Jennifer. He pointed the finger at a man named Black, who was friends with the couple, claiming Black took matters into his own hands by contacting Jennifer and offering her hush money to recant and say Kenneth never mistreated her. According to Kenneth's version of events, he never instructed Black to do this, nor did he provide any funds for the alleged bribery attempt. He suggested Black was likely trying to gain favor with Nicki by taking rogue actions. At this point, fans couldn't help but scratch their heads in bewilderment. What could Nicki possibly see in this man that's worth risking her entire iconic career and legacy? Could she really love Kenneth so much that she's willing to subject herself to this never-ending PR disaster? Imagine being at the peak of the rap game, only to have your husband constantly dragging you into his sordid messes, forcing you to fork over thousands for fines while still jumping through hoops to defend him on social media. It's a total mess unbecoming of a queen, am I right? But wait, there's still more jaw-dropping revelations. As if the sexual misconduct allegations weren't enough, it turns out Kenneth also has a conviction for manslaughter on his record from 2002 after pleading guilty to killing a man named Lamont Robinson. Let that sink in. Nicki Minaj, one of the biggest and most influential rappers of our time, is married to a convicted murderer and registered sex offender. It's almost too much to process at this point. In a shocking display of delusion, the Queen of Rap took to social media spewing some truly baffling rhetoric about true love conquering all. She wrote, "When a person is with a ninja that loved them before they had a dime in their pocket, how do you not understand that? How do you not understand happiness versus clout? Girl, what are you talking about? This man has done nothing but bring embarrassment, legal troubles, and unrelenting public scrutiny into your life. At what point does his shady past and present misdeeds outweigh any notion of pre-fame loyalty? You would think that someone with Kenneth's checkered history, a convicted killer, registered sex offender who violated probation, would keep a low profile and avoid any further controversy, right? Wrong. In a brazen move that sets jaws dropping, Kenneth violated his probation yet again last year when he threatened fellow rapper Offset in a caught-on-video altercation. The viral clip shows Kenneth and his goons lurking outside, calling out for Offset while making threats to jump him if they crossed paths. I mean, what is going through this man's pea-sized brain? He's out here picking fights with other celebrities, constantly stirring up more drama and legal issues, while his world-famous wife has to clean up his messes time and time again. And Nicki? She just keeps enabling this toxic, damaging cycle, defending him at every turn, paying his mounting fines and legal fees out of her hard-earned fortune, all while trying to justify her choices with some twisted street love reasoning to her fans. At what point does she take a step back and realize this relationship is doing irreparable harm to her career, her legacy, her public persona? How many more controversies and scandals is she willing to subject herself to for this man? This whole debacle is like a multi-car pileup in slow motion, and we're all watching with eyes wide open, utterly captivated, yet appalled at how deep this sordid rabbit hole goes. With each baffling revelation, Each instance of Nicki digging her heels in, it becomes more incomprehensible why she has chained herself to Kenneth and his tainted past.
What's happening?
Big
fucking money, man. What's up?
Yeah.
Where niggas at, man?
Yeah.
Huh?
You don't know
Big
niggas.
Zoom.
They said you don't know niggas.
Big Zoom. We're on that vacation.
Yeah.
You're planning your funeral, pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the way to the street, nigga. Know everything, nigga.
Yeah.
Let's play. What's up?
We'll meet you there, nigga.
Let's play.
The situation grew more ominous when Ken menacingly vowed to eliminate MK. The situation escalated to such a fever pitch that Kenneth felt compelled to share private messages between himself and Offset, seemingly as proof of some underlying conflict. These leaked texts provided a jaw-dropping glimpse into a heated exchange that quickly spiraled out of control. According to the messages, Offset had boldly DM'd Kenneth days prior, issuing a brazen challenge. "Where you located? You owe men and females business with no money for war. Don't post me either since you a gangster, right? You live in Charlotte too." Not one to back down, Kenneth clapped back defiantly. "I'm outside. Head ain't hiding from no man, especially no rap man. I'm outside, ganga. Shut the F up, man. You ain't even getting no get back for them guys killing your people." The trash talking quickly devolved into a mudslinging contest of egos, with Offset mocking Kenneth as a grown man talking about a woman, while taking jabs at his financial situation. "You guys too old and don't be outside, and also you can think what you think, but you broke and ain't far from me catching already." But Kenneth wasn't having it, firing back, "I ain't hiding, my man. Get in line." As Offset continued with the goofiness, Kenneth crossed a line, bringing up Takeoff's tragic murder in a low blow. "Use that money to get them men that killed your partner, my G. That's gangsta." The escalating dares to pull up soon became a reality as Kenneth and his crew took Offset's challenge head-on, though the exact details of their confrontation remain shrouded in mystery. Some speculate an incident at the VMAs may have ignited this powder keg of tension. Well, Kenneth's decision to flaunt his threats toward Offset in a viral video came back to bite him hard. Unsurprisingly, it landed him in scalding hot water with the parole board, resulting in a 4-month house arrest sentence. The legal documents made it crystal clear why. Kenneth was recorded making threatening remarks towards a specific individual while in the company of someone with a criminal record. In a move dripping with irony, the document stated the house arrest would hopefully encourage him to reflect upon and reevaluate his current status in the community. Essentially, they treated this grown man like a scolded child, ordering him into the corner for a timeout via electronic monitoring GPS for up to 120 days. When Kenneth bragged about being strapped, he probably didn't envision having a monitor strapped to his own ankle. In a colossal cell phone, not only did he violate parole, but he also flaunted it online for the world to gawk at, practically begging to get busted. So while Offset roamed the streets unbothered, Kenneth found himself confined to a 120-day probation stint. But as we've established how Kenneth's antics repeatedly drag Nicki's name through the mud, an even more sinister allegation looms. Whispers have been growing louder about how Kenneth may be manipulating and controlling Nicki through substance abuse. Blogger Ken Barbie spilled this scorching tea. That man is keeping you all drugged up and mixing your nose candy with horse tranquilizers and OIC so he can make you more stupid while taking your money and letting you look crazy. These rumors have swirled for years, gaining traction with each bizarre incident. One particular video of Nicki has raised many eyebrows and concerns about her well-being in this potentially toxic dynamic. As this gripping saga unfurls further, a deeply unsettling portrait emerges of a relationship driven by control and manipulation. Kenneth's reckless actions have jeopardized not only his own freedom, but Nicki's hard-earned reputation and legacy. The million-dollar question on everyone's mind: how much more is the Queen willing to endure before she finally sees the writing on the wall? Is her love for Kenneth worth sacrificing her empire, her public image, and potentially her mental and physical well-being? The world watches with bated breath as this cannonball of a story shows no signs of slowing down.
One day, they're yelling, "Push." And you're in pain. Then one day, he comes out, a beautiful baby boy. To God be the glory. Congratulations to least no one's told you that. You're doing a great job.
The claims that he may have intentionally gotten Nicki addicted to substances and contributed to her weight gain as further means of control and undermining her self-esteem are absolutely sickening. Exploiting someone's insecurities and making them feel unlovable except by you is an extremely toxic form of emotional abuse. While Nicki's reputation has certainly taken a battering from her staunch defense of Kenneth over the years, I don't think anyone deserves to be victimized in such a manner, regardless of past actions or words. Domestic abuse and coercive control are never acceptable. That said, you raise a fair point about the irony and seeming cosmic karma at play if Nicki is now being dumped and mistreated by the same person she vehemently defended. Her previous mocking of other people's situations does make it harder to have sympathy initially. However, I always try to have empathy, recognizing that domestic abuse can happen to anyone from any walk of life. No one is immune, even famous and successful people. The cycle of abuse is insidious and difficult to escape, especially with manipulation tactics like getting someone addicted to control them. So while there's an undeniable irony here based on Nicki's past words and actions, I don't think that should diminish the severity of what she may be going through now. Victim blaming benefits no one. If these allegations are true, she needs support and resources to safely extract herself, not ridicule. Ultimately, this entire situation is a breathtaking clusterfuck of epically messy proportions. I'm just hoping Nicki can find the strength and clarity to prioritize her well-being, even if that means walking away from Kenneth for good. Her life, sanity, and legacy could depend on it at this point based on these shocking claims. Those are just my initial thoughts, but I'm really curious to hear other perspectives as well. What's your take on how to view this given the irony yet disturbing nature of the allegations? Do you think there's any road to redemption for Nicki at this point? I'm all ears to discuss further.